books, that was kind of my introduction to what we're going to talk about today, because we want to get books into your hands as soon as possible, and we want to get you reading. But one of the things that we need to talk about is how to choose good fit books. It's important as you start to get books into your hands that you choose a book that's right for you. And so I'm going to do a little lesson today, and you're going to think it's kind of weird because I'm going to start this lesson out by pulling out some shoes. And you're probably thinking, what does shoes have to do with books? But I want you to just look at the shoes. I want you to tell me, what's the purpose of these shoes? Just think. If I was going to put these on my feet, these are not my shoes, they're Mrs. Holcomb's, so I couldn't put these on my feet right now if I wanted to. But I have shoes kind of like this. I'm actually well, no, I'm not kind of wearing it. But what would I wear these for? I want you to just buzz with somebody next to you. Why would I wear these shoes? When would I wear them? What would I wear these shoes for? Olivia?
When it's hot out and you're just trying to relax or
Okay, when it's hot out, if I'm going to relax. Liza?
for protection.
Okay, yeah, all shoes are for protection. But what specifically, when do you see people wearing shoes like this? Braxton?
In summer,
In the summer, sure.
when it be at the beach.
When you're at the beach. How many of you ever put flip-flops on when you go to the beach or the swimming pool? Yeah, so those shoes kind of have a specific purpose. Let me pull another pair out. These are definitely not mine. I would never wear a pair of shoes like this, but those are Miss Martin's. I borrowed them from her.
Wow.
See, these shoes look a little different than the ones I wear to the swimming pool or the beach, don't they? Okay, buzz with somebody close to you. Why do I wear shoes like this? Or when would I wear these? Okay, when would I wear these? When would I wear these? Kaylee?
Go somewhere fancy.
If I'm going someplace fancy, yes. Haley?
When you're going to prom.
If I was going to the prom, yes. I don't even know if at prom I wore some like these, but yes, you see girls wearing these to prom. Mitch?
If you're wearing a pink shirt or pants.
Okay.
maybe
Braxton?
nothing to go
If you're going to have a wedding, maybe you're going to wear something.
Maybe a wedding. I might wear shoes like this to a wedding or prom or someplace fancy.
For a dinner date.
A dinner date. My husband would probably fall over laughing if I came out in these for a dinner date, but there are some people that wear these for dinner dates, yes.
It's like you're going to work and you have like really nice clothes on.
Yeah, if I have fancy dressier clothes on, if I was going to work. I would not wear these to work because I would have to take them off after 5 minutes. They would hurt my feet. But all of those are reasons that I might wear those. They're not going to stay up there like that. Okay, got another pair. How about these? Have you seen shoes like this before?
I know what they're
Talk to someone near you. What kind of shoes are these and why would I wear them?
for golf.
Okay, what kind of shoes are these? Jameson? They're not bowling shoes. Good try. They kind of look like bowling shoes from the front, but I want you to look at the bottoms. What are these? Ian. They are for a sport, yes. They are for a sport. Do you know what sport? They're golf shoes, yes. So I would wear these shoes if I was going to play golf on the golf course, and I do that from time to time, not very often. And my golf shoes are actually sandals, but they have these special spikes on the bottom of them that are made for the golf course. So yeah, I'd wear those shoes if I was going golfing. And then finally, I got these. I don't want to pull these out too early, but what's the purpose of these? TJ, what's the purpose of these, buddy?
For snow.
For snow. I'm going to wear these if it's cold out and there's snow on the ground, right? So, are you wondering why I'm pulling shoes out if we're supposed to be talking about choosing books? Okay, I want you to just make a prediction. Just talk to somebody close to you. Why is Mrs. Rue pulling out shoes if we're talking about choosing books?
Like choosing the right shoes.
What do you think? What do you think, Malia?
Different shoes to wear during different times, like books, like different things, like those are like different seasons of shoes, and so like different kinds of books.
Different kinds of books, okay. Tori?
You need good fit shoes, just like you need good fit books.
That's right. So let's go through this a little bit more carefully. Say that one more time, Tori. What did you say?
You need good fit shoes, and you also need good fit books.
Tell your neighbor what Tori just said. I want you to think about that. Okay? So she is on the right track here. Just like I have to pick the right shoes depending on what I'm doing, I have to learn how to pick a good fit book. So we're going to have this poster. We like to use a lot of anchor charts in here. So this is our anchor chart for how to choose a good fit book. And the first step is the I. You'll hear me say a lot, I pick. Did you go through the I pick strategy? The I in I pick is I choose a book. So the first step, whenever you're going to go to the shelf, is you're going to go over and you're going to pull a book out. Right? But you're not just going to pull that book out and walk back to your desk and start reading it. There are some other things that you have to do before you start reading that book to be sure that it's a good fit. Okay, so I need everybody to sit up, and I need your eyes on me because this is the important part, all right? So I go to the bookshelf and I pull a book off the shelf. I've chosen my book. Now I have to think about my purpose, okay? Just like shoes have a purpose, I have to have a purpose for reading too. My purpose for wearing these shoes is so that when I go to the pool or the beach, is it okay if these shoes get wet or get sand on them? Am I going to ruin these shoes if they get wet? No, I'm not going to ruin them. But if I wore these shoes on the beach, would those be good ones on the beach or at the swimming pool? No. I have to think about my purpose. So when I go to the pool, my purpose is to make sure my feet have a covering that's not going to get destroyed around water and sand. Or my purpose for wearing these is to make sure on the golf course I've got a good grip on my shoe. Well, books are the same way. I have to ask myself, why do I want to read this book? So when I pull that book out, what's my purpose? Do I want a book that's going to be fun and entertaining? Do I want a book where I'm going to learn new information? So the first question you ask yourself is, what is my purpose for choosing this book? Why do I want to read it? Talk quick with people next to you. What are some reasons that you want to read books? Why do you want to read books? So why are some reasons that you read books? Why do you choose books? Why do you want to read books? CJ?
So you can learn more information and stuff.
Okay, so you can learn information. Liza?
If they have like twists, then you like get interested in it.
Okay, so you read books because you want to be interested or entertained. Braxton?
Maybe sometimes you like books that are funny.
Yeah, for fun. How many of you pick up books because they're fun to read? I do. I wish I had more time to read. I get so busy, especially during the school year, that I don't always have time to read. We're going to provide you with lots of time to read at school, and we're going to provide you with lots of time to read what you want to read. So that's why we're teaching you how to choose a book. So just like shoes have a purpose, golf shoes are for golfing. Am I going to wear these at the beach?
No.
No. These are for going someplace fancy. Am I going to wear these on the golf course?
No.
No. Just like shoes have a purpose, books have a purpose too. They can be fun, entertaining, or you can learn information from them. So, what's step number 1? I choose a book. Then what do I have to do? I have to think about my purpose. And I've got to ask myself, why do I want to read it? Do I want to read it to be entertained? Do I want to learn something from this? What's my purpose? Okay, step 3 is the I, which says interest. Now look around here. You notice I don't have any soccer shoes. Okay, and I know some of you like soccer, but I don't have any soccer shoes up here. That's because soccer isn't something that interests me. So I don't have soccer shoes here because I'm not interested in them. I do have golf shoes though. Why do you think I have golf shoes?
Because you're interested in golf.
I'm interested in golf. I like to play golf, yes. So just like shoes I have to have the right shoes for my interests. I have to pick a book that interests me. Now I want to give you an example, and I know lots of you like these books, but Harry Potter. That's not a book I would choose off the shelf because I am not interested. Science fiction, that genre, just doesn't really interest me. And I've tried to pick those books up and read them, and guess what I do? I read about 2 chapters and then I put it away. How many of you have ever done that before? You've chosen a book, you've read 1 or 2 chapters, and then you kind of put it away. That's because it didn't interest you. You are going to learn this year how to choose books that fit your interest. I'm not interested in Harry Potter. I really like to read realistic fiction, historical fiction, fantasy books, and the fantasy, not too much fantasy. So buzz with someone near you. What genre, what kind of books interest you? Think about that, your interest. And how come you like those books? So you like books that are funny. Are the Smile books graphic novels? Do they have like cartoon type things?
I think it's like
Okay, so you like comic book type books? All right. How about you, Austin? What kind of books do you like? You like Harry Potter. Okay, Harry Potter interests you. What interests you? Comics? Okay.
I like fiction.
Realistic fiction? How about you?
And I'm reading.
Oh. So what are some of the books that interest you? What are you interested in? Tori?
mysterious books because I love mysteries.
How many of you like mysteries? You like those books where you kind of are, every page you want to keep turning it because you're not sure what's going to happen next? Mysteries? Okay, what other kinds of genres or books, Liza?
I like books that have like in the early days or like there was like segregation and stuff.
When there was segregation, okay, so historical, maybe historical fiction, or in the olden days, what about Little House on the Prairie? Has anybody ever read any of those books? Are you interested in that? What life was like hundreds of years ago? Okay, Aiden?
Scary thrillers.
Scary thrillers. Like, could you give me an example?
Just any kind of ghost books.
Okay, okay. I'm thinking some of those ones that they read last year. All right, Olivia, one more.
Realistic fiction.
Realistic fiction, can you give me an example
Like
of
Augie and Me.
Augie and Me you liked? Anna, how about you? What were you going to say? Realistic fiction. So, okay, I've chosen my book. I've decided I want to read it for fun. I've looked through it and I've said, does it interest me? Am I interested in this genre, this topic, this idea? Because that's important, isn't it? Is it going to make sense for me to have soccer shoes up here? Why not?
Because it doesn't interest you.
It doesn't interest me. It honestly doesn't even make sense for me to have snow boots because I don't really love snow boots either. But just like shoes, you've got to pick books that interest you. Now the last two are probably the most important. The C stands for comprehension. Do I understand it? And the K stands for no. Do I know most of the words? These two are probably the two most important ones as you get ready to choose a book. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. So I need a couple kids to come up here. Let's see. Aiden, come up, and Savannah, come up. And I want you to take off one of your shoes, and I want you to switch it with the other person. Okay, switch. Just hold them up. Just hold them up so everybody can see. Hold them next to each other. Is Aiden's shoe going to be a good fit for Savannah? No. Is Savannah's shoe going to be a good fit for Aiden?
No.
Thinking about what we've talked about, hold on. Thinking about what we've talked about so far, buzz with somebody. Why are their shoes not good fits for one another? And you two talk to each other. Talk. Nor what? Why is Savannah's shoe not a good fit for Aiden and Aiden's shoe not a good fit for Savannah? Malia?
Because Aiden's shoe is bigger than Savannah's.
Yeah, what's going to happen if Savannah puts those shoes on? Is she going to have an easy time walking in them?
No.
No, they're going to be way too big. How about if Aiden tries to put Savannah's sandal on? It's going to be way too small. What are some other reasons these aren't good fit for each other? Thinking about purpose. What's Aiden's purpose in wearing tennis shoes? What do you think? Why do you think he chose tennis shoes? Ben?
Running.
He wants to run in them probably, yeah. Braxton?
Because he likes the style and he likes sports.
Sports, okay. How come Savannah chose fancy, cute sandals? What do you think, Liza?
She might be interested in those kind of things.
Okay, like what?
Like the color.
She might have chosen them because she likes the color. Sutton?
It's summer, so.
Summer, so she wants to have her feet be in something that are going to keep her feet cool. Okay, it matches her shirt, goes good with her outfit. Well, my point in having them switch shoes is just like books, boys and girls. Aiden's shoes aren't going to work for Savannah, are they?
No.
Savannah's shoes aren't going to work for Aiden. The books that Aiden chooses, will they necessarily work for Savannah?
No.
They might, but always?
No.
Will the books Savannah chooses always work for Aiden?
No.
No. Whose books do you need to worry about?
Yours.
Your own. If Aiden's reading a big, thick chapter book and Savannah's reading a picture book, is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, because they're choosing books that are good fits for them. Just like their shoes. They have to pick shoes that are good fit for them. Now, if we had PE today, would Savannah have the right shoes?
No.
No. No. So you've got to think about that with books too. Thank you guys. You can go sit down and put your shoes back on. We've got to pick books that fit us. Jameson can't worry about picking a book, the same book as CJ, just because CJ's reading a book. It might not be a good fit for him. And here's why. Because Jameson has to be able to comprehend the book, and he has to know most of the words. So when I go to the shelf, I'm going to pick a book, and let me give you an example. So I chose this book, and I want to read this because, here's my purpose, I want to read it because I think it looks like it's going to be entertaining, and I also want to read it because I want to learn information about bullies and what happens when people are bullied. So do I have a purpose?
Yes.
Okay? This interests me because of the characters on front. I'm interested in books that have funny characters. I'm interested in learning more about bullies. Okay, sit up nice and straight. You're doing great. Now, I have to figure out, do I understand this book? And can I read all the words? So you help me. Jessica was a worrier. She worried night and day. Do I know most of the words on that page?
Yes.
Yeah, I read them correctly. Now, do I understand it? Well, I understand that Jessica worries a lot. She worries all the time. So do I know the words? Did I seem to understand what I read?
Yes.
But I better check on another page because that's only page 1. She worried about her socks not matching and having knobby knees and losing her barrettes and not doing well in school. Did I read all the words correctly?
Yes.
I knew most of the words, and I understand she worries about everything. Her knees, her barrettes, not doing well in school. Am I comprehending? Okay, so I'm going to read again, one more page. But in Mr. Martin's first grade class, Jessica had a big worry. Brenda Bailey. Brenda was perfect. Her bangs were even. Her homework was always right. Am I needing number 4 again? Or number 5? Do I know the words?
Yes.
Do I understand it?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because I understand that she worries about Brenda Bailey the most. Because Brenda Bailey seems to be perfect. Okay? Now, seems to be a good fit book for me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It almost seemed like it was kind of
Too easy.
for me. And this is where I want to caution you. We are going to challenge you this year to choose books that will not be too easy and not be too hard. This was an example of a book where, did I have a purpose?
Yeah.
Does it interest me?
Yes.
Did I understand the book?
Yes.
Did I know most of the words?
Yes.
Good fit, but maybe not challenging enough. Okay, let me give you another example. I'll read a page from Wonder. This is a little thicker book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I chose a book. My purpose, I want to read this for entertainment. I want to read it for fun. I want to read it because I think I will enjoy it. Do I have a purpose?
Yes.
Okay. Does it interest me?
Yes.
Yeah. As I kind of looked through this book, I noticed that it's realistic fiction. And I like realistic fiction books. I like books about kids, and I like books that could be real. So it interests me. Now I've got to decide, do I understand it? Do I know most of the words? So let's see. You tell me. Ordinary. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. Did I know most of the words?
Yes.
Okay, now, if I was up choosing this book, though, I would probably read through the whole page. And here's a good rule of thumb. If you miss 5 words or less on a page, you know most of the words. If you struggle and miss more than 5 words, is this a good fit for you?
No.
No, okay? This seems to be a good fit for me because I knew most of the words. Now I've got to check, do I understand it? Well, just from reading that first part, I understand that this is being told from the perspective of one of the characters. And he's thinking about how he's ordinary, except for the fact that when he goes to a playground, he makes kids run away screaming. Does it seem like I understand what I'm reading?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you one more example. So is this a good fit for me?
Yes.
Did I have a reason for reading it?
Yes.
Why? What was my reason?
You like realistic fiction?
I like realistic fiction. Okay? Does it interest me?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, my purpose back here, I wanted to read it because I thought it would be something that I'd enjoy and it would be fun. Does it interest me? Yes, because I like realistic fiction. Did I understand what I was reading? Did I know most of the words?
Yes.
Good fit?
Yes.
Okay, I've got one more example for you today. Woo. Let's pretend this is from a book, okay? So, purpose, why do I want to read this? Well, I'm not really sure other than the fact that it had some big words, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll learn something new. Does it interest me? Primary biliary cholangitis, a new name and a new treatment? Well, not really, but I guess I'll just read it to see what it's all about. So, do I have a great reason for reading it?
No.
Does it really interest me?
No.
So far, does it seem like it's a good fit?
No.
No, but let's see. You ready?
Just for an informational page.
Maybe. Let's see if I understand it, and let's see if I know most of the words. Primary biliary cholangitis, I don't know. Previously called primary biliary, I don't know, is a cholestatic autoimmune liver disease that is marked by the progressive destruction of the smallest intralobe, bile ducts. In the absence of effective therapy, it progresses inexorably, to cirrhosis and liver failure. I don't know what that word is either. A hydrophilic bile acid with an excellent safety profile. Ugh, I'm done with that. Was that a good fit for me?
No.
Okay, first of all, I can't even tell you what that article was about. I have no idea. Something about the liver, I think. So, did I understand what I read?
No.
Did I know most of the words?
No.
Is this a good fit for me?
No.
No! I really didn't have a purpose or a reason for reading it. It didn't really interest me. And here's the big ones. I did not know most of those words. I ended up throwing it on the ground, didn't I?
Yeah.
There were more than 5 words that I didn't know on that page, and that was only a paragraph. And I didn't understand it. So as we get into choosing books, boys and girls, we're going to use the acronym what? I pick. And we're going to help you eventually choose books. So we have to think. I choose a book. What's the next thing I have to do? I have to think about my
Purpose.
why do I want to read it? Then I have to decide, does it?
Interest.
Then I've got to read the first page. And I have to see, do I know most of the words? And do I comprehend? Do I understand it? Now here's my final test. Is the book you choose going to be a good fit for anybody else in this room?
No.
Maybe not. Do you need to worry about your book being the same as somebody else's?
No.
No. Because you've got to pick a book that is a good fit for you. Just like you have to pick shoes that have a purpose and an interest and fit you. Aiden can't wear Savannah's. Savannah can't wear Aiden's. That's what we have to think about when we choose books. Okay?